Wonderful, and looks like we are live. So, I was coming here today to talk to you about the Cessna 172 project. So, this is going to be the Cessna 170 Tuesdays, as it's been for the past few months. In fact, if you go over to captainbobsim.com/start here, or any of the pages that aren't the home page, let's see. So yeah, here's the start here page. You can see under the newsletter box, you can see how long the Cessna 172 project has been alive for. It's been alive for 255 days, 14 hours, 31 minutes, and 44 seconds. So beautiful. It's been around for a while, almost a year. It'll be in sometime like November. That's his birthday. But it won't always be on Tuesdays. I have to put that out there. Sometimes the way the schedule works just doesn't really allow videos to be produced on exactly a 1 week schedule. So hopefully you're flexible with that, and I'd like to thank you for being flexible with that, kind of rolling with the punches, because I haven't always done videos exactly on Tuesdays, but you seem to be taking it well. So first of all, I'd like to address, so here's proof it's not like a green screen or anything. I'd like to address the problem with section 1 heating. So, section 1 has a fair amount of volume, especially when you put it forward like this. Let me put it back a little bit. It has a lot of volume, but for a PC, you really want airflow, so it's not good to lock it up with a it's not good to lock it up in a tiny spot. So I'm gonna put fans in this if I can, but I think the best solution would be to keep the top off right here until we figure it out and make sure the PC won't overheat. It'll just kind of be a sidewall to look cool from the side until we figure out heating concerns. And don't hold me to this, but I'm thinking it would be totally dope if we just cut, let me see, can we, we're gonna pan over. If we just cut little holes right here, like in the real Cessna 172, and just put air intake into the simulator, and it could flow through the entire electronics bay and then maybe go either under, though I don't want it to go under because I don't want hot air going onto the carpet, and I don't know, if it gets like hot enough, I don't want the carpet to get all nasty or melted. I don't think we're trying to get this like Concorde level cooling, but but I definitely do want to make sure the computer isn't harmed by an enclosed space. So yeah, I do want to raise this a little. What am I raising, you might ask? I'm gonna raise this right here. It's the camera 2. So now we have a multicam setup. I can show you stuff like a makeup vlogger. You're like, wow. Yeah. So that's the second view. Here's me. And wonderful. I got distracted. I know, it was just blocking my entire view. So yeah. Wait. So yeah, heating concern, I'm just gonna monitor my temperatures as closely as I can to make sure nothing's getting too hot. And then I think having the top off and maybe like run a fan should be good. And the computer's internal cooling systems should be great with that. I don't know. That's one of the GitHub problems. I want to figure out a way to make an enclosed space cool. It might be just overkill, but I really do like the appearance that it kind of brings. Oh, whoa, I think I can zoom out a little. What? That's cool. I do want. Let's pan back over. Wow. Sorry. I'm used to the green screen. This is throwing me off. I can even move up if I want. Wow. Okay. So, I did want to clarify one other thing. This with the GitHub. I'll share my screen right here, and then we'll hide this camera because you don't need to see my hand. The GitHub right over here. It's github.com/CaptainBobSim/ the Cessna 172 project version 3. Let's get my outline. So the live edits, as I call them, are on this spreadsheet in the description. I should make this more apparent. We could even make an issue right here. I'll just write it on my to-do list. It's not issue worthy. But this link right here to the spreadsheet is the PBS, the product breakdown system. I called it the POS in my first video, the product organization system. We're just going to call it the product breakdown system. I think that's a friendlier acronym. So here you have all of these links right here. You can just click them to see the GitHub updated version on, not the GitHub, the Fusion 360 updated version. So it takes a while to load because this is kind of a big file, but here is the current Cessna 172 version 3 complete assembly. So yeah, you can go to this at any time and it'll show everything that I've put into the general full assembly file, which is pretty cool. You can download it as a step at any time, which is wonderful. And that's great. This is wonderful, but let's see, GitHub. But if Fusion 360 breaks down sometime, as it might in the future, I don't know. I don't tell the time. But if Fusion 360, if these links don't work anymore, I don't want everything to go wild. So that's why I've that's why I've released the GitHub files right here. So you can go into section 0, form shell assembly for splitting, and just click it right here. And it's a step file that you could download. And then this is the Fusion 360 file, but there's also a step file so you can view it with any other program like SolidWorks or FreeCAD, I think, opens them. But yeah, once you open it, it'll open with Fusion 360. And then once it opens, we won't wait that long, I guess. Once it does open, it'll be the entire thing openable, and you can edit from there, from your heart's content to your heart's content, and you can do anything you want with the Cessna 172. I don't know why you would do this. Maybe have a double wide Cessna 172 so you can have multiple people train right next to each other. But you can make any edits to the files you want, and since it's not my problem, you can save the changes and keep it as a copy. So that's just awesome. You can do it either way, by either downloading it as a step, typing in your email to download, and it'll notify you when it's done. But I like this version right here on the GitHub because it's pretty simple, doesn't take a long time to process. So basically in the GitHub, it's where all of the releases go. Whenever I make something and it works, I put it in the GitHub. That's why there's not a section 2 GitHub, but there is a section 2 in the spreadsheet. That's completely normal. So yeah, you can also, a thing the GitHub has but the spreadsheets don't, is a user contributions. So you have this folder right here, and most of These are from Guarov. So he made, I think I'm pronouncing that right. He made a bunch of STLs for you to download. So you could print something like this on your 3D printer. It's a rheostat knob. These look awesome. So you can just print these out. This is the fuel cutoff knob. And I think there are a few others. Yeah, fuel tank knob. And yeah, you can print these out and just go for it, which I think is super awesome. I will make sure I fix my spelling. I don't know why that's a thing. Measure twice, cut once, I guess. Yeah, it opened in Fusion. We already saw that though, so that's not important. But yeah, let's go back to me. I'm a little lost. Disoriented at best. Okie dokie. So yeah, let's go to the chat. So I took my Citation Mustang sim down. Uh-oh. Oh, did you have to move? But I'm building an F-22 one. Dang, that's amazing, man. Good job, Max. I'm excited to see or hear about that. Let's see. And we have a question about the Cessna 172 simulator. Am I going to put a monitor directly on the window space? That is my plan with the side windows. The front window will be either a projector, or if we figure out how to do it, we'll have like 2 TV screens if we can figure that out. I'm not sure how we'll do it, but we're gonna try. Nice model. Thanks. Am I gonna make my own yoke or buy one? I'm going to make my own yoke. That's why it's gonna be a long story and a lot of tweaking, but I think I'm down for it. Oh, and welcome Chuckles 1008. Okay, the next thing I have is we don't need that tab anymore. Don't worry, we're good. Okay, I should really assign keyboard shortcuts. But the next thing we have is the Patreon account. So the Patreon account is one place that I'm adding just a little bit more, I guess, value, maybe. It's a level under the spreadsheet right here in terms of newness to the world. So you have the GitHub, which is the files as best as we have them, and then we have the best as we have them, only released when I'm confident in them, and then updated from there. And then we have the Cessna 172 product breakdown system, which is a live edit. It might be good, might be bad. There might be a mistake I made where I randomly like pressed a button on my computer and then the model like exploded. I think that's a thing. But if there's any mistakes, they'll be reflected live, and you'll have to deal with those mistakes basically. So GitHub is polished, spreadsheet is live, and then the Patreon is a level above with the very latest versions. So you have early access to some of the things I haven't even put on the spreadsheet yet because they don't have enough progress, and I guess it's just a level below, and this allows you to get them even earlier. So a lot of times, specifically with instruments, I don't build the instrument, or I don't release the files for the instrument until I build the thing and make a video about it, just because I don't know, it's mostly because it's tricky to get everything to work and communicate how to build it and give proper documentation, because I think the last thing I would want to do would be to release a file to the public and then have it make someone angry and just have a bad experience with it. So I want the files I release to have good experiences. And yeah, so this GNS 530 has been in early access since March 18th. So it has all of the files I've used. Yeah, all the files I've used, and then that way you can build along, figure out mistake along with me if you want, and I find that really cool. I don't know what's up with this texture. Someone should call a nurse or something. Okie dokie. Oh, the next thing, let me pull it up on Google Drive. You can still see my face, right? Yeah, you can. You've used 82% of your storage. How do you feel about that, Trevor? It would be in... I don't know if this would be in under YouTube or finance, because it's both. Oh, no. Captain Bob. Nope, that's not the one. Okay, so I think this is the one. So, right here, I'm just giving an update on the budget. This is a public budget I made where I basically took my own budget, cut out all of my personal expenses. Like that one time I bought a bunch of mints because I thought my breath smelled horribly, but that's besides the point. So I put in only Captain Bob expenditures, and this is how much I actually make, or rather lose, per month. So I'm trying to be pretty transparent with this. Oh, those are my secret numbers. They're not a secret, but I'm saving them for later. But you can see every expense and every income source from 2020 to 2001. No, 2021. Let me check. I don't have any names in here. Just to double check. I don't want any of those. Okay. Okie dokie. Yeah, I know I removed all the names. Except one. Okay. There we go. I just want to make sure. Because I know I did like all but one of the tabs. Okay, so you could, the cool thing about this is you can go month by month and see basically every cent I've spent. I spent $17 on my t-shirt, $120 on audio equipment, so this microphone and the audio interface and the cable for it. You can see I bought 2 kilograms of filament, the CPU cooler, and some other computer parts. The CPU, which if you see my video, was totally something like that. And you can see donations coming in, which honestly really help the project. I don't think you know like how much it really helps, because it lets it lets me do things that I otherwise don't think I could, which is awesome. A lot of these are refunds, so stuff like that, a tripod, stuff like that, screws that I broke, Clecos. So yeah, you can see all the expenses, and it starts getting crazy in the computer months, because you like buy 2 computer parts and you're out $50,000. Oh, I'm so sorry, microphone. That's kind of how it goes. And yeah, you can see the 2020 summary with all of the expenses logged from Captain Bob up from, I think, January of last year. So yeah. So these are all of the expenses tracked, and you can see over here that in 2021 January I lost $500 from just purely Captain Bob. I gained 229 in February, lost 200 in March, lost 400 in April, lost 300 May, and in June I lost about 200, which if you total everything up, my total net expense on Captain Bob has been negative $2,945.05. So that's every expense from the last 2 years. And I started the YouTube channel a little more over 2 years ago. So that includes the camera, the computer, and the audio equipment. That's most of it. So I'd say, so yeah, that's most of the expense. That's actually not the expense. That's the net expense, or the profit, I guess. Because I think this is more. Let me see. Wait, is it? You done goofed. Okay, it might be a little off. I'm not sure. The voice inside my head. Okay, it looks like it is a little off. But basically, I averaged it out, and every month I lose $245 off of Captain Bob. That's just, I've tried to get it to the minimum operating amount that still lets me grow my abilities. Like, let's see. If I didn't get these, I definitely wouldn't do as much wiring. Where are my crimpers? These crimpers were, I think, $30, but I've used them a ton, and these really are going to be helpful in my Cessna 172 project. So yeah, it's not all bad, and basically, it's interesting, because you can put something right here, and say, in 2020, for every dollar I spent on Captain Bob, so if I bought a $40 crimper, but for math, we'll just say this costed $1, 14 cents would have been paid for by the Captain Bob YouTube channel. But then in 2021, that went up to over 55. So now I think if I do the math, I'm making more than I'm still losing money. But I'm paying for more than it. I'm paying for less of it than my ad revenue and donations is, which I think is crazy. I think that's how the math works. But yeah, this is what I did here. I also have the YouTube tab, which I think is hilarious. So here's my rough estimates of how much work goes into videos every month. 75 hours. You can't see that, can you? 75 hours. And yeah, 75 hours a month, making $66 a month-ish. So in a year, I make $792. I think that's accurate. Let me see. Pie chart. Where is it? So I might make more than that. It all depends on factors. So that's a little low. But that averages out to 88 cents an hour, sorry. But if I factor in the expenses, I lose $3 an hour every hour I work on Captain Bob. That's a little sticky of a financial situation. There's nothing like running a lemonade stand that's losing you money. But I honestly love this hobby so much that I'm willing to spend my $3 an hour to work on this. It's something I like that much. Hopefully I'm not in it just for the money, because if I am, I'm just an idiot and a fool. But yeah. Okay, so there is more than that in income. We could predict a certain amount of dollars that would come in. This is a little low of an estimate, so I can boost this number. I'll overwrite it. Let's see. Let's double it. So yeah. It still ends up I'm losing about the same amount. That's weird. That should be... Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, but yeah, that should be a little different. That's a bunch of nerdy numbers and my nerdy spreadsheet. I thought I would share that with you because I don't know. I think it's important to talk about finance because it's one of the topics in flight simulation that you don't really talk about, which is kind of sad. But yeah, so here's the budget. I might make a template out of this. Let me know in the comments over there if you want like a template like my budget where everything auto totals and you have certain drop downs so you can have a personal expense of like $50 or a Captain Bob expense or a simulator expense. So yeah, let me know if you find that helpful over there. And yeah, let's see. Do I have any other fancy pages? I am proud of this page because if you say you can just easily calculate how much something's been costing you. So if you say I pay for shoving money down a pit. So if you shove money down a pit every month and you shove $600 down a pit and you started 6/12 slash let's go 1974. If you shove $600 a month down a pit since 1974, you have spent $343,000. So yeah, quit shoving money down a pit. But yeah, you can see how much things cost. So I have this browser extension, not browser, I guess it is. I have an app called Freedom, costs $1.50 a month, and I started this date, so it's costed me $3.40, but it's made its money back in productivity. So that you can just see something like if you want to see Netflix, how much it's charging you, it's like $15-ish now, I don't know, and say you did it since 2018. So let's go 7/18/2018. You can see Netflix has costed you $540. So yeah, it's interesting how you can see that. And you're like, oh, is it worth $540? I don't know. That's just a tangent. But I did really want to show you my budget process. Another part of the budget process is the saving up charts. These Canon M50 batteries I actually just got, so you can delete that. But you can see Maslow CNC. This is a CNC mill. So I am. This isn't right. I am. It looks like I don't quite have enough for it. The formula's messed up a little, but right here you can see I'm 73% to a standing desk. I want that because if I sit down too long, I feel like I feel exhausted, and if I stand up too much, my knees start to hurt. So that's, I think, something good there. Let's see. So yeah, that is the budget process. I do want to be transparent with that because I guess a lot of the costs in this aren't necessarily thought about. Like, I bought 20 servo motors because I just wanted to have a lot to test with, tinker with. That has served me greatly because now I can just grab one, do an Arduino sketch. I bought 10 stepper motors, and I actually probably have gone through all 10. Yeah, you can see stuff like this. Epoxy, that's something that often is just kind of forgotten about in the terms of cost. You're like, oh, I have it lying around, but you have to buy that every once in a while. Organizational bins, $20 for that. $10, I shipped something for someone. This doesn't actually count. That's games from Goodwill and books. I guess, yeah, that doesn't count. These are all mixed in when it was early, but yeah, stuff like that. I invested in a course, and it taught me loads about editing, even though I'm still bad at it. Rotary encoders, stuff like that. Green screen, $10. Studio clamp lights, Arduino Megas. The costs really rack up for something like this because you're not only a YouTuber, you're not only a woodworker, you solder, you're an engineer, so you gotta get fancy calipers. I use a lot of software, and yeah, the prices start to really go up if you if you let them, which I think I have a little bit, but we're gonna go off the subject of budgeting and onto the subject that you care about. Okie dokie. Oh yes, I did get the honeycomb. I haven't really shown it because I build instead of flying. I did take it out for a spin this Tuesday. It's been a long week. This Tuesday, and it was a blast. I flew the Cessna 172 and the 747. And yeah, it was refreshing just to fly without any care. Oh, and it looks like Portuguese 737 project popped up. Hello, welcome. Okay. So let's see. I do have a few other questions I want to clarify. They're not really viewer questions. They're more of like me questions. Like my soul was searching for these questions. But my first question from me to me is, what is in this for me? This is a question. Sounds really stuck up. Like, what's in it for me? Honestly, I think that I'm into the Cessna 172 project primarily as a student to learn. I'll share my screen because it looks cheesy. I've learned how to do things like this that I don't think I ever would have figured out on my own. Things that I can take into a job, take with me. I've also learned about character through this. I've learned how I work, how I don't think of things on the spot very well with live streaming. I've learned about how to use Fusion 360 as a tool. I've learned how to make a shell out of it, how to transform canvases, how to design stuff, how to use a caliper. I'm primarily in this, I like to say, as a student. Another reason is that I'm in the YouTube channel specifically is honestly to offset the cost of flight simulation. Ironically, I'd have to total it up to make sure, like, to separate Captain Bob into flight sim stuff and camera stuff. I'd have to separate that out before I know for sure. But I think the YouTube channel has definitely made more money in ad revenue than it has, than I think I've spent on camera gear. I'd have to double check my math, but definitely. So that's one of the other things that's in it for me. Another is honestly the community. That's not a reason I joined. I wanted to join more or less because I guess I could. I don't know. That's probably not the most motivational phrase, because I could. But I think I've really stayed for the community and seeing all these people like yourself. Don't you forget about that, you the viewer. Like yourself, I've seen that, and that's really helped me. Like, no, there are other weirdos like me. I mean that in the best way, of course. So that's one of the things. Also, my next question is, why is my heart in this? And I think I kind of answered that. I really like helping people. The Captain Bob mission statement is to have fun, inform, and inspire. And I think that I really want to make all of those happen. To have fun flight simulating, have good memories. If you have like a full-time job you hate, you can come back to this and you can do something you like. Inform. Oh yeah, that's like the whole knowledge thing. And yeah, I think that information is huge because you learn so much about information. I learned how to do things like this, and also I've learned CAD many a times over here. I have let's see. I have random files right here that are awful, but I've learned through them. So yeah, that's another thing that that I really want to encourage learning. So this is a surface exercise. I do want to show you this. I think it's cool. You can like do weird stuff with the surface, and you can like move this point up and it does this instead. Okay. But yeah, I've learned so much, and I would like to put this out there. Am I trying to make money? Yes, I'm trying to make money to offset the cost of this hobby. We checked out the budget. It was like negative $3 an hour, which is far less than minimum wage, I believe. So yes, I am trying to make money. There's a shop at captainbobsim.com/shop. Let me pull it up. Oh, caps lock. Where there are stickers, and you can even go to get a t-shirt, like I said before. So there's stuff like that you can do, which is super cool. Let me see if it loads. I think the Wi-Fi is draining it a little. Yeah, there's a sticker right here. All sorts of cool stuff. And I think that's helping financially to help kind of push the hobby forward. I do want to be like honest with you with this channel, because I think I don't want to be hiding anything, because if you hide anything, you like feel like you're hiding anything, you know. Will I cut corners? Physically, yes. There will be corners that I will want to fill it, kind of sand over. But in this sense of this metaphor, I'm gonna try my best to not cut corners, to make this project the best I can make it, even if it takes me 20 years, which probably will. And yeah, what are my intentions? What are my intentions with your daughter? My intentions are to, I should put this in like a clear and concise thing on my website, but I think they are primarily, as I said before, to learn. Yeah, it's really just my mission statement. Have fun, inform, and inspire. But we're going to branch that out into both inspiring you, inspiring myself, and inspiring the next generation to like say, this is possible, people. Get your head in the game. But yeah. Okay, so why are my plans free? I did put this on the GitHub. I want to share that with you. And it looks like my shop is actually broken, so I'll fix that. Yeah. I put this right here at the top of the Cessna 172 project. These plans are based on a pay-what-you-want model. Though I could charge money for these plans, I want to give this project plans away for free on the GitHub. And then it says right here, the flight simulation community has given me so much, and I would like to give back. Free Cessna 172 plans were what started me off in flight simulation when I was younger, and I don't want cost to be an obstacle for any young aspiring individuals who want to build their very own Cessna 172 flight sim. This goes for both young people and old people. Sorry I called you that. But honestly, there's something like with the cost. It's so much easier to just grab something that's free than to grab a paid plan set. Yeah, and then I have this little motivational message that sounds like it came right out of a cat poster. But regardless, that's why these Cessna 172 plans are free. Another question are, why are the Patreon plans right here not free? They're kind of locked behind a paywall. This is to fund the project, to keep the GitHub plans free once I release them. I hope you can kind of accept that. To get early access means that you're funding the GitHub, which does crazy things for the project. You also get early access to the videos whenever applicable. A lot of times I'm like scratching against the deadline, however, so these aren't always available, but a lot of times you will get them. Here are all the early access, and yeah, you have, what's something else? Yeah, you also have access to the fuel selector files, because I won't release those until I get to that part on the Cessna 172. Okay, so that has to do with all of the questions in the live Cessna 172 chat. Yeah, If you'd like to join the Patreon, by the way, you're always welcome to. The link in the description is below. And yeah. Okay. I've never flown. Let's go over to the comment section, questions, because we can. So we have a question from Chuckles. I've never flown a real aircraft. Is the honeycomb realistic? I have flown in a real aircraft. It's really hard to compare a flight sim yoke to an aircraft because just with all of the force feedback, people will try to sell you on this, but the force feedback would enhance the honeycomb yoke when you're on the ground and you're not flying. The controls are super sloppy and loose. You can pull it all the way back, release it, and it'll basically stay there because there's no airflow moving over the elevator, moving the elevator. But yeah, so that aside, with the whole like sloppiness versus if you're in a stall, it'll be a little different than if you're cruising down at 600 knots in a Cessna 172. Good luck with that one. But honestly, the honeycomb yoke is the most realistic yoke I've flown with, so it's definitely, I would say, realistic. Again, it's a fuzzy term. The honeycomb yoke, I would say it's probably the best option, which is super confident. Oh, similar. I hope you have a good day, good week too. Okay, I'm looking into learning CAD for 3D printing. What affordable software do you recommend for starters? Anything but Tinkercad. What I started on was FreeCAD. FreeCAD is what the Warthog project uses. It is a good CAD program. I don't know how well it goes with large assemblies. I haven't tried that yet, but yeah, it might be a little either easier or harder to learn than Fusion 360. I can't give you that insight. I used to when I was switching over, but yeah. So FreeCAD, you can download it right here. It's super cool. Again, the Warthog project used it, so it's good enough for me. I used it a while ago. I wonder if I have any files about it. Let me figure this out. They're way back. They're in like imported from. That's like my file structure with them. Workhorse A, new folder. Is it new folder or after? I think it's after. Now is it in a CAD folder? CDI2. Hey. Yeah, I'll just show you some of the designs I did with it right here. This is the CDI. I did the course deviation indicator, which worked pretty nicely. I did all of this in FreeCAD, and I enjoyed designing it. To from servo. So yeah, vertical needle. Yeah. Let me see if I can find anything else. Now we're just looking through my files. This is gonna be a long stream if we're gonna do that. So yeah. Okay, so Lux said you can get Fusion 360 for free. I think there's a student version and then there's a free version as well. There are limitations to it, but it should work as well. So yeah. Oh, I have some more chat things. Oh, I would like to plug my podcast while we're here. The Captain Bob Flight Sim podcast. You go to my website and then just click the podcast page because you can. I like this. Episodes appear from the void of space about once a month. But there's the latest podcast episode right here. It's the podcast episode with Dave from Bits and Droids. So Bits and Droids is another connector kind of like Moby Flight, but not Moby Flight. You code things yourself, and it's a podcast right here. Super cool. There are show notes for it and everything. I think. I gotta add those. Yeah, there are show notes. I just need to put them on the site because you have to mark it a certain flag. But yeah, if you go to captainbobsim.com/9, you'll see that podcast right here. And yeah. Oh, we give each other high five. Exciting. Beautiful. So yeah, if you want to see the podcast, it's right there. And I would like to plug that. And yeah, if anyone has any more if anyone has any more questions about the Cessna 172, it'll be chilling down here. I have to chill it down here because I don't have enough space for both the first section and the second section in the garage. So this one has to chill back here for a while. So yeah, I'm gonna check the chat, and if that's all, I think we'll go. Yeah. Similar says free version is fine. You just have to juggle your files a little. That's all. It's with the restriction for the amount of open projects you can have. So yeah. That's why I hope is an option. It's a good one. I wonder if it would be possible for me to make one assembly that has just all the bodies, so you wouldn't have to juggle files. I'll look into that. Because I'll actually look into it right now. If we go into the full assembly file, section 0, we might be able to find it. Okay, it looks like it's not loading. Maybe because I didn't click it. Let's see. But yeah, could I select this body, find in window? Okay, it looks like it would be down by the bay. Oh, you can go all the way down, I think. So yeah, you could do that and then save as STL. So that's perfect. That's all I needed to know. You can go through the 0-0 complete C172 assembly and print something. So theoretically, you could print this thing right here with Cura, which I would be a little worried if you wanted to print this with Cura, because if you import it into Cura, let's see. Yeah, let's just import it into Cura, just for fun. Quick access, STL. Yeah, so it automatically, it scaled it tiny, but then I think if you properly scale it, I think it would be like this or something. Yeah, that looks about right. Something like that. I don't know if it's exactly this, but they're a little big to 3D print. So that's why. So yeah, but you can print a piece from the 0-0 assembly. So if you needed to, you could export something as an could you like create a sketch from it? And yeah, so the point is you can take an individual part and print it, which is all I wanted to know. Hello Stall, hello Chuckles. Are you already? And thanks Tom Doppler. And wonderful. I'm in the process. Okay, it looks like Uxilux. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm in the project of making a TBM 900 cockpit and working on the Garmin GMC 710. I would like to say that's freaking awesome. Congratulations. This is a good time to plug the Discord, because someone said something about Discord, and I'm just like, Discord? But yeah. If you'd like to join the Discord community, in the link in the description below, there is a Discord link, and you can join the community. I think that's about it for this week's kind of live chat about the Cessna 172, what direction it's going, and totally. Should we do big face mode? There we go. Yeah, I'm really excited to work more on the Cessna 172 project, even if I am losing $3 an hour from it. But the numbers are good enough. But the numbers I don't think matter as much as some other things. But yeah, definitely, if you haven't already, check out the Cessna 172 project and CaptainBobSim.com. Browse around there for a second, and you might like it. You might not, but you might. Yeah, that is all I have for this week, and let me know if you have any coupons. Yeah, see you in next time. That's what we'll say.